Elected councillor, don't you think you'll ever be involved at any point in any kind of emotional debate?
Oh, it's quite likely.
It's quite likely,
but not
isn't
over
it?
this issue.
Not over
a
that
taxpayer
issue.
asking
Okay.
where their taxpayers' dollars are going.
Liz West, what are your thoughts on this?
I think it comes down to respect. As Andrew mentioned, it's mutual respect, having respect for each other and looking at this as a partnership versus one, dictating to another. I also think that, going forward, local government knows that there has to be more transparency, and actually having someone push back is a good thing, because we need to double check and we need to second guess ourselves. Councillors aren't rocket scientists. They're people that are been elected to represent a community and to come up with a vision and help the city move forward in the right way. But at the same time, it's the people that live in the communities that actually have some terrific ideas, and it's good to listen to them. So I wouldn't look at it as personally as a personal affront or anything negative. I think it's about two-way dialogue.
Mm-hmm. So you wouldn't tell anybody off?
Well, I don't do that in my personal life, so I can't imagine why I do it in my professional.
Okay, all right. Mihaly Varga, what do you think about all of this? The behavior of a councillor and how you might deal with an argumentative taxpayer?
Well, I see a councillor is the leader of the ward, the work for the ward, work for the people. Mm-hmm. They are the one who hiring him or her. I think there is a certain standard, the minimum standard to respect and behave properly. For me, it's absolutely unacceptable to use words what was used and treat people the way I was treated. I think when the arrogance come into the picture, that would ruin the connection, to connect to people and to motivate them for the common goods.
All right. Angie Tingus, if I were a ratepayer and you were the councillor and I was, pushing away, would you tell me off or not?
No, I wouldn't. And just, everyone said their piece. And of course, at the end of the day, we don't have a boss at City Hall. Our bosses are each and every one of the voters who goes. Unfortunately, not enough people go out and vote. It'd be nice if they did. But even if we were rocket scientists, Liz, we have a right to listen, and I hope we do listen, and that's what we're paid to do, is listen. So if you were to, unfortunately, disapprove of something that we were going to cut or we were going to add, that's what we're there for, to listen to everybody's opinions and come up with something that works for the majority, not the minority.
I've only got a minute left before the closing statements. Can I do a quick round of polling? How many people are in favor of term limits? Mark Dewdney.
Absolutely.
Oh, we'll just see the hands. That's good. Term limits.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. No term limits, says Paula Fletcher, because?
Because 2 terms, you're just getting to know what you're doing.
Started.
Yeah,
okay.
Really, you need to know what you're doing down there, folks.
All right, Andrew James.
People have the right to elect who they want, but we should make it easier to beat an incumbent. The problem is the incumbency advantage is far too strong, and I have no problem running against an incumbent even after 2 terms. But
well, they do get beaten from time to time,
It's extremely rare.
The strongest advocates for.
I'm sure the numbers will be up after this election.
All right. Let's have some final thoughts from each candidate, and we'll go in reverse order. Liz West, go ahead, please.
Thanks. I want to thank everybody who tuned in, because it's this kind of two-way dialogue that I'll promote as a councillor. I think that local government needs to take a more proactive position to support businesses and residents. I want to get rid of the roadblocks and the red tape that stops simple things like having handicap signs put up in front of a resident's house during an election, to having Felstead Park rejuvenated, to big issues like the renovation of Toronto East General Hospital. I don't agree with the term, that's the way we've always done it, and I believe that together we can make this city a place that we can be really proud of.
Thank you. And the next candidate, Gary Walsh.
I just want to pull this up.
Sale.
I'm not for sale. They always say you have the best politicians money can buy. If you elect me, I will open my door to any citizen that has any information dealing with fraud, theft, bid rigging, price fixing. And I think there's a line-by-line review the city has to do. If you elect me as your councillor, I'll use my office to investigate this. And just remember one thing.
All right.
Probe Toronto Special Investigations Citizens Research Group, I'm going to continue that whether I'm elected or not. Thank you.
Mahela Varga, your final 30 seconds, please.
Thank you. If I would be elected, I would apply the same rules that I use in my work. First is collect facts, then and consult with experts, then coming to educated conclusion, then came up with my vision, and I go into a debate to make it happen.
All right, thank you. Angie Tingus, 30 seconds, please.
If and when you vote for me, I promise that every vote I make at City Council, and unless I'm sick with the flu and laryngitis, I will be sitting in that room making my vote counts for the ward. At the end of the day, the ward is my backyard, and I'm going to vote for it.
All right. And the next candidate, Andrew James.
After the merger of all the Toronto, the mega city, if you will, City Hall has become too remote, and that fuels the anger that we're seeing in the suburbs. My commitment is to bring local government back to the locality, is to bring in the institutions, and there's models all over the world that provide a buffer, provide a place for people to bring their local concerns. That's my commitment, that's my passion, and that's what I will do. So when we're dealing with Withrow Park concerns or whatever, it can be dealt with at the local level rather than by an unthinking bureaucracy.
Thank you. Paula Fletcher, your final thoughts, please.
Well, I've heard from many residents this election that they're quite worried about what's going to happen at City Hall. And they're very worried that there will be a lot of cuts. They're worried about the service levels, and they're worried about public transit. We have a very, very desirable neighborhood. People want to move into Ward 30, and partly because of the great neighborhoods we've built and the great services we have.
All right, thank you. Mark Dewdney, final thoughts.
I'd just like to say that I appreciate every single one of the people who is sitting up here with me. People have been very gracious. Paula, Angie, everyone dropping by my office. Liz, back in August, things, for example, like asking me to come on board her campaign. It's been a very gracious spirit of cooperation, and I want to emphasize that. As far as me, my home phone number, 416-467-0943. I'm a guy who took the transit up here tonight, MetroPass to prove it. Got the transfers if you want to see it. Ladies and gentlemen, you need somebody who lives amongst you.
The man with the proof. Okay, thank you very much. Coming up next, Toronto District School Board, Ward